I'm cooking in the outdoors today, and I love cooking in the outdoors, but I like to keep it really simple. And today I was privileged enough to work with the Kennedy family, a fantastic Aussie farming family that produce these beautiful vine-ripened Aussie tomatoes and pack them to get the best quality tomatoes. Now, to pay homage to this, I'm going to make a really simple French-inspired vinaigrette to go with good old Aussie prawns. It's a really simple recipe, but it's a fantastic vinaigrette to have up your sleeve because it not only goes with prawns, it goes with so many different things. So what I like to do is shake it all up in a jar. And when you're making any type of vinaigrette, it's always very important to get the balance right. So you need sweetness, you need some saltiness, you need a little bit of acidity. For my sweetness today, instead of using sugar, I'm using the natural sweetness of these crushed tomatoes. So they'll go in later, but let's start the base of this vinaigrette. A little bit of mustard, Dijon mustard. It is a little bit French inspired after all. That goes straight into our jar. And now we need a little bit more piquancy from this, so I'm going to add a little bit of Tabasco sauce. Add as much or as little as you like. If you're doing this for the kiddies, don't put as much in. So I've got about 3 or 4 drops in there. For some more acidity, a little bit of red wine vinegar. It's about a tablespoon there. And a little bit of garlic, and I'm just going to mince that straight in there. I don't want it to be too chunky, so mincing it is the best way to do it. And some French shallots. Now, I like to use French shallots because they're mild, they're sweet too, so they're not as harsh as the larger onions. And these are really crunchy at the moment, but once I've put them into this mixture and then given it a good shake, they will soften up a little bit there. And we need some seasoning, so a good pinch of salt, always some freshly cracked pepper goes in there. And the hero here, some canned crushed tomatoes here. Now, in here we need some olive oil, a good glug of olive oil. For this emulsification, you want to start with a little bit of olive oil. We're going to give it a really good shake, and then I'm going to add a little bit more after that. So on it goes, nice and tight so it doesn't go everywhere. Good shake. And I'm going to add a little bit more, and you'll see it start to thicken up nicely. A little bit more. If it does thicken up too much, don't worry, all you need to do is just add a little bit of water and it'll just thin out nicely. So lid on, give that a good shake, and let's have a look. Perfect, look at that, gorgeous colour. Smells so good. You can smell the tomatoes in it. There's one thing missing though. Tomatoes go really well with tarragon. Now, if you can't find tarragon, you could of course use a little bit of parsley, basil, even chives work nicely. And we're just going to cut that up. And we're going to add that straight in there. You can see I'm being generous with it because I love it. And tarragon goes so well with seafood, especially with prawns. So match. Perfect match, made in heaven. One last shake. Right, once that's in there, we are ready to go. There you go. It's almost like a cocktail sauce, but without the mayonnaise, so it's a little bit healthier for you. So we've got our prawns here. I've peeled them. I've just taken the heads off and I've taken the intestinal tract out. Beautiful, fresh Australian prawns. And how I like to present this, get a completely opposite colour. So blue and the prawns against this look fantastic, and our tomato vinaigrette. And we'll just get that. Let's just smear it all over this plate. Beautiful. Lots of those herbs there. We'll get our prawns and we'll just arrange them over the sauce. So when you do pick up the prawns, you scoop up some of that delicious vinaigrette. A few more there. And I always think of texture when I'm presenting a plate like this. I want a crunch. And because we've got that aniseed flavour from the tarragon, I'm going to add some fennel. So also a very similar flavour. So I'll take the outer leaves off. I'm going to cut that in half. And this has got a really nice crunch. It's got a really mild flavour too. And we'll take that last bit out there, cut that up, and we'll just add a few crunchy pieces there. And these fennel fronds have some great flavour too, and they look fantastic. So a little bit more of that on top. That is a perfect entree. It reminds me of Christmas in Australia, fresh cold prawns, crunchy fennel, and a delicious tomato vinaigrette. This is for the Kennedy family, fantastic Aussie farming family, and they're gonna love that dish when they taste it.